Hi, I'm Jess and welcome to day 7 of a veg. Today I'm going to be showing you my reading resolutions wrap up for 2016 and a little chat about what I want to do with reading in 2017, because 2016 was not the best reading year. I did read 70 books, but the majority of those were graphic novels. So let's just get on with the wrap up. So my first goal was to read 50 books. I read 75 books, but the majority of those were fairy tale mangas, and while I count them, I didn't read 50 books, but I ticked that one off anyway. Next one was to complete 5 series, and that just wasn't a priority for me towards the end of the month. I finished 4. Towards the end of the year, sorry. I finished 4 and that's good enough for me. I didn't really care. Next one is one that I'm quite sad that I did not complete, and that is to finish Game of Thrones, because I think I could have done it, but I just got really bored of Feast for Crows, and while I finished Feast for Crows I couldn't bring myself to read Dance for Dragons, and I just couldn't be bothered, so I didn't. Next was to read more widely, and I think I did this a little bit. I did read a lot for uni that was more widely, and I also read The Handmaid's Tale, which was one that I specifically mentioned in the video that I wanted to read, so I'm very glad that I read that. That's again something I want to continue doing now. I don't want to just solely read one genre, I want to be reading all sorts of things. Next one was to read the majority of uni books, and when I wrote this down to tick off whether I've done it, I've put a half tick, because while I think I read more than I did the first semester, I don't think I did as well as I could have, and that's another thing I want to improve next year. Then my last goal was 20 fantasy books, and because most of the books I read were fairy tale, and that's a fantasy series, I definitely did that, but I didn't count how many I read, but I think the majority of the books I did read were fantasy anyway. So the only real goal I have for 2017 is to read 50 books, and it's not really a goal, it's just a number that I set on Goodreads just because that is just I feel like it's a nice point, because that's like a book a week, and I feel like that's good to aim for, but also I want to focus on the uni books and on getting uni done, getting all my assignments done rather than reading for pleasure. Obviously I really want to get back into reading for pleasure. I want to make time for it in my day, so I do want to try and read for like half an hour every day before bed, or whenever I can fit it in the day, because that would be nice to get me into reading again. I just don't want to put so much pressure on myself to read, which I feel like is why I have not been reading. But I also want to, again, I want to read more widely. I want to read more feminist fiction, and I want to read more classics. I want to read more of the books that are coming out now that are critically acclaimed, like the Man Booker books and stuff. But I said that last year, but I have started reading Staten Island, which was on last year's long list, and I'm loving it so far, and it makes me think that I should be reading more of that sort of stuff. And yeah, so I don't really have any set goals for 2017 apart from to read 50 books, but that's just a guideline. Well, read most of my uni books, which hopefully I can do, and there will be a video up at some point this month on what books I've got to read for uni from now until April. So yeah, that was my 2016 goals wrap up and 2017 goals discussion, and let me know if you've got any goals for 2017 and how you did in 2016 down below, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.